Hey, it's Michael Kwan with Financially Alert. So today I was going to do a quick video review of the Helium 10 software suite, specifically the black box component. And the reason why the black box component is so important in their suite of tools is black box really allows you to go in and do product research. So chances are, if you're watching this, you're someone that's interested in FBA and haven't quite figured out what your product's going to be yet. Or maybe you're a seller that's already in existence and you want to find another product. And that's kind of the spot that I'm in. I have an existing product, but I need more products in my brand. And so Blackbox is really powerful because what it does is it allows you to go in and do research on, I think it's approximately 450 million different items, which is pretty insane considering, Amazon's obviously huge. And just to consider how many products are in Amazon's warehouses and everywhere, it's crazy. But, as a new seller, how are you going to whittle down all that information? It's not possible to kind of go through Amazon's product listings one by one. You need a way to be able to filter that and to come up with a way to understand some of those metrics from the get-go. So with Blackbox, what it is it's a way for you to filter a certain category. You can figure out, different price ranges that you're looking for. And so today we're going to kind of take a look at that. First and foremost, though, you'll notice that Helium 10 has different kind of pricing tiers. And the really cool thing about them is they give you access to a free plan to just get started, which is really nice of them. So the first one, you can use pretty much all of their tools for free. They just limit you on the amount of frequency you can use them, which makes sense, right? So let's just say for Blackbox, you just wanted to kind of check out a couple things, see how the tool works, make sure it works. And then if you're satisfied, you can kind of go to an a la carte plan or an unlimited. This is the one that I'm on right now, the platinum plan, and really kind of understand, in depth, start digging in depth once you kind of get to this type of plan. So let's kind of jump over here to Blackbox. And this is my account over here. I'm on the platinum plan, like as I mentioned. And let's click on Blackbox here, or you can kind of come over to the left and click on it over here as well. All right, so what you see here is basically a place for you to do your initial product research. So let's just say that we needed to find a product and we were interested in let's see, how about the home and kitchen area? And we wanted to find something where people are selling a decent amount. Let's just say people are selling $10,000 worth of product, and we won't cap that. And for price, let's say we wanted to find a product within the $25 to $40 range. And minimum review count, we can leave blank. But let's say we want to find a product that's selling well and has a really good rating. So let's just say it has to be at least a 4.4. So we set these parameters, and let's just do a quick search. And you'll see that it quickly scans through millions of different items and kind of comes up with different ideas for you. And so the really cool thing, part of it, you kind of get lost sometimes just kind of scrolling and saying, oh my gosh, this is wow, they sell like $50,000 worth of sheets a month. And that's just like kind of mind blowing, right? But you kind of start seeing what the demand is for some of these things out there. And you can just you can keep going and getting more ideas. There's duvets and pillows, drapes, and you can get very narrow, right? You can start searching for very specifics. But for now, let's just kind of peruse this and kind of see, what's out there. And what we're also looking for here is the number of reviews, right? Because in the case where there's like a lot of reviews, we kind of know that's a competitive space already, because once you launch your product, it's going to take you a little while to get reviews, and reviews really drive sales to a certain extent. People want social proof. They want to know that the product is tested, people are using it, and they're satisfied with it. That's what I do personally, and that's what everyone else does. So you have to understand that when you're launching the product, you want to be able to get into an area where there's some opportunity to get reviews yourself, and then also surpass the people in that space. So let's go back to some of these sheets, and it's interesting because again they sell a ton of sheets, 49,000 a month. That's kind of mind blowing to a certain extent when you're just starting out. The first time I started seeing some of those numbers, it was like, wow, that's incredible. Um, but over time, you'll kind of get used to it, and you'll be like, oh, cool, I could be doing this too. So what we want to see here is, okay, look, it actually fit within our criteria. This one's like $36. It's got monthly sales of 1,400 or so units, and obviously the 49,000 in monthly revenue. It has a BSR of 2 million, which is a pretty. So this one's saying showing in a subcategory instead of a main category of home and kitchen. So the BSR is essentially telling you how well it's ranking in terms of a product sale. So let's say the number one product that's selling is something that, I don't know what the number one selling product could be in home and kitchen. Maybe it's a frying pan or something, and it would be number one. But guess what? They're going to be selling probably like 20,000 units or whatever it is. But it's just a way to kind of measure, to kind of know where you're at in terms of your rank. And the reason why that's important is because ultimately, when Google gives out search results and people are searching for a specific product, they're going to look at some of that BSR ranking in order to tell the end user if it's a relevant product or not. So if I'm searching for deep pocket sheets and Amazon says, okay, there's all these different listings that we have here, this one has a lower BSR, this is probably more relevant, meaning that more people are buying that. So Amazon's going to give that one priority over something else, with a higher BSR. So something to consider. And then also with the number of reviews, obviously, we want to see something that has, a decent number of reviews and a decent rating. Now, what we can do here is we can click on the ratings here, and it'll kind of show you over time how this is laid out, like since the point of inception. So when they first started out, you can kind of see the number of reviews and how long it took them. So this is good information because then you can really understand, okay, well, it looks like they launched back here in July and they quickly got a lot of reviews. So that's pretty encouraging, right? And then all of a sudden they dropped off and didn't get many more reviews. And then they added some more over here. And you can kind of see like how their reviews have, in terms of rating and the green, have kind of gone. And obviously they had some kind of a dip. I don't know, what happened here. Maybe they had a manufacturer issue or whatnot. But over time, you can kind of see like, they started out really high and then they gradually started going down. And that's, to be expected to a certain extent, initially with the volume. But, the idea is obviously to keep it as high as you can. And so that's powerful information that Helium 10 kind of gives you. And then we can also, I just clicked on that one. That's the same one. We can click on the BSR and kind of see where they're at. And so, yeah, the interesting thing is because you're selling a lot, I was kind of curious why it said 2 million. It seems like they would actually be at a much lower sales rank. And as you can see here on the graph, it actually is lower. Like if you kind of scroll across, it's like 9,000, 10,000 and whatnot. For whatever reason, it kind of, maybe it's an anomaly or something, or they're not selling right now. Maybe they ran out of inventory. But I think over time, you can see that they're actually much lower BSR sales rank. Let's see. All right, so you can also click on the actual product page straight through Helium 10. And the one thing that you want to do also is get the Helium 10 Chrome extension. And I'll put a link to that in the review as well. That's going to give you basically access to right here, this is a little Chrome extension. And it'll basically allow you to kind of look at their listing. And that's something that you obviously want to kind of start researching yourself. How do you want your listing to look like? Are you going to have a single product or are you going to have multiple products with different colors? And, ultimately here, they've got a pretty good, layout in terms of they're showing their product very clearly. They've got at least 7 images, which I think is the optimal number of images, 7 or more. There's little things right here where you're technically not supposed to have like, any background in your primary image, but whatever. Obviously, Amazon's letting that slide for now. But what you really want to do is kind of see what does a good listing look like, right? And in this case, it looks like they're a pretty good listing. They're also going to kind of show you right here. This is part of the Chrome extension as well. You can see their sales rank, their pricing over time. You can see that it used to be like $43, and then they dropped it down to $35, $36, and you can kind of see that trend over time. And that's important if you're, looking at a product that might be seasonal, because you might be able to see, okay, look, they lowered the price right before, Christmas time or the holidays or Halloween or something, if it's a seasonal product. And you can kind of get an idea of like what people are doing just for your own research. There's also a revenue calculator that you can use here that kind of just generally shows you, what the approximate, selling price and product cost is. You can kind of say, okay, well, it might cost me, let's see, $10 to manufacture, maybe $8 to manufacture. And you can pop that into the calculator, and it can kind of show you overall, like, what your potential profit is here. Now, granted, you're going to have to use some of that profit to pay for storage and shipping and some other items that are not included just in the manufacturing, advertising, things of that nature. But nonetheless, it'll give you a quick understanding of where the potential profit margins you can score with the specific product. I think that's most of what that shows. And so let's just jump back here. So, this is really cool because it gives you access to just so many ideas, and it really gives you access to very specific BSRs that you can kind of research. And one thing that you can kind of start looking for too is, we looked for products that actually were reviewed pretty high. But what if we wanted to search for something where the products are actually low reviews, and let's just say a max of like 3.9, still the same price range, and let's keep the same monthly revenue. And what we're searching for now is products that are selling well, but they actually don't have very good reviews. So why would we want to look at that? So if you consider that, okay, let's look at this product right here. So here's a curtain rod of all things. Okay. So retail price is $31.45, and they're selling 1,400 of these. But look over here, and you can see that their rating is not the greatest. It's 3.8 out of 2,865 reviews. And over time, it looks like they were, it's just dropped 3.8, and it's just dropping over time. So let's look at the all-time. And in green, we can kind of see where they started at. They started at a 4.2, then they dropped, went down to 4. And you can kind of see it's trending down over time, right? So the reason why we want to kind of look at a product like this is what we can do is we can say, hey, this could potentially be an opportunity. There's definitely a market here because obviously there's this person selling $45,000 worth of these curtain shower rods or whatever they are. But, people aren't completely satisfied with them. So that's great information for us because we can be like, okay, well, there's a ton of data here that we can learn from. And why is it? Let's go look at the top critical reviews. Most recent, and for some reason, I think you can usually search by top critical reviews, but whatever the case, let's look for the ones that are disappointing. Does not extend to 75. It's not going to work for me. Unusable. Couldn't expand. Let's see all the different ones. Okay, here we go. Top critical reviews. And here you can kind of quickly scan and be like, all right, terribly frustrating. They're having issues, it looks like, installing it. Worked great, unfortunately. Came crashing down, so maybe it's not strong enough. It's damaged. Can't readjust the tension. Locking mechanism freezes up. So, reading through all this, you can quickly get an idea of like the issues that the product is having. Now, as a new seller, if you wanted to enter this market, guess what? You already know that there's a market for this product. You don't have to figure out that market research. But what you do know is that, you could create a better mousetrap here. You could create a curtain rod that is super strong, is very reliable, is not frustrating. And if you're able to kind of create that and put it out in the marketplace, then that's a pretty significant opportunity to, enter the market and then ultimately gain some of that market share. So again, that's why this information from Blackbox is super powerful. And just a quick, this is just a quick snapshot of products that you can really kind of get an understanding for and really dig in. So hopefully that gave you a good overview of what Blackbox can do. And here's the different pricing plans for Helium 10. I think I showed you originally in the beginning. And with Blackbox, 20 uses is great in the beginning just to kind of figure it out. But to be honest, when you're doing your product research, I think I researched probably about 1,000 to 5,000 different products before I actually settled on my own. So you probably at some point when you're ready want to go do the platinum plan. And if you already know you want to do that, I've actually got a special discount straight from Helium 10 because I am one of their affiliates. They've given me a 50% off coupon that you guys can use, and I'll link that up in the show notes and also in the post as well. So if you have any questions, if you're interested, let me know in the comments and check it out. I mean, it's a great tool. I wish they had this around when I was looking for my product initially. I use one of the competitors called Jungle Scout, and they've got a decent product as well. But Helium 10 just kind of goes that next level, especially once you do get your product. This other suite that we didn't really talk about in this video is incredible. You can really get very specific in terms of keywords. The keyword research is incredible because what it is when people are searching for a product, they want to know, you want to know that you're coming up as a relevant result. And of course, you can advertise and pay money to Amazon to get listed in the advertisements, but it's much better to get organic results. And by organic, I mean that when someone's searching for a shower curtain rod, you're the one that's coming up first. And there's different ways to optimize that. And so this keyword research tool can really kind of help you dig into that. And it can help you with your listing once you kind of get your listing up and going, inventory protector, and all these really cool things. And that's included all in that package. So, again, we just talked about Blackbox. In another video, I'll kind of cover some of the other areas. But this should at least get you kind of started. And I hope you do great things with your own Amazon product. It's such a cool and fun business that you can do from home, from anywhere really. And it's a super exciting time. There's still room and opportunity to kind of make a killing. And I wish you all the best. Let me know how it goes. Take care now. Bye.